Well, hello there, AppleBites. This is your AppleBite Written Writ Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ. A show where you and I and you take a journey together to become better writers. Yes, I am back, and guess what? We are delving back into character creation. I've been asked by somebody to recover the topic that we have covered before. So here we go. Get your pens and pencils ready, and let's rock and roll. Alright. So, if you remember right, we did a little episode on character creation, or building character, or, well, first we did the hero's journey, the villain's journey, character creation, supporting characters. It's all important, and it's all, I guess, interesting. So, here we go. Here are little bits and pieces and pointers that we can use together to create your character. What I like to do, and I find it really helpful, is, of course, like I told you, playing Dungeons and Dragons, I find that their creation process is extensive. It really has a long list, a long sheet of things that you want to know about your character. What their skills are, what their fears are, depending all on the character creation sheet. These are all important. I think the more you know about your character, the more, or the better it is to write. Because the more you know about your character, the more you can bring those little things about your character into your story whenever you need to. So that's the important thing. You want to know as much as possible about your character as you can. So the question is to ask yourself as many questions as possible. If you want to go simple, you can always go, who is my character? For example, my character is Maximus T. Jones. What does my character do? He's a private investigator. Why is he doing what he's doing? Now here's the question, here's the thing. Why is he a private investigator? You can say, well, he saw the injustice in the world and he saw that the police department wasn't doing their job, so he didn't want to go that route. So he decided to become a private investigator to see if he can bring justice to the world. Or why is he taking the case that he's taking? There you go. Well, here's the important things. You want to answer these questions. Why is he taking the case? Why is your character doing what they're doing? Why are they going to help this person that you want them to help? Why are they taking the action that they're about to take? It's important to know these things. You don't want to get stuck in the story and go, well, why is the character there? And then realize the character shouldn't have been there the whole time. You get what I'm saying? These are important. Now, like I was saying, when I play Dungeons and Dragons, I have an extensive sheet that goes, what's the character's name, what's their skills, what's the character's background, do they have family, do they have friends, because the dungeon master wants to know all these things. So as he's crafting his story, he can take the aspects of your character and put them into his story, which is important because you just don't want to know what your main character is doing. You want to know what all your characters are doing in the story. It is very important. I know I mentioned it to you before that in knowing what your characters are doing in the story, you don't have any characters that are just hanging around doing nothing. And that is very important because you don't want to invest, or your reader doesn't want to invest all this time to a character and then the character doesn't go anywhere. So you need to ask all these questions about all your characters. The more extensive your background is for all your characters, the better it is. You may not use any of this information, but it's very important to have. It's very important because it actually gives you things, especially if you run into a wall or if you have writer's block. You can always concentrate on one of the characters, whoever it is, be it the main character, the side character, the villain, and that will help you out. Dig yourself away from that hole. It's possible. So here's some tricks. Maybe what you can do is start with the character's name. Sometimes you take the character's name, like Maximus T. Jones, and you take it and run with it and go, so if this guy's name is Maximus T. Jones, what does he do. Sometimes the character will speak to you, especially just from having a name. Names are important. If you feel like you're stuck, get a baby naming book and find a name from there. And it's like a writer's prompt. You just get the name and start writing. Brainstorm on the character. You go into the baby book and you get the name Abner, right? So now what you want to do is take it like a writer's prompt. So you got Abner. It's not a common name. And it's more of an old type name now because you don't see many people named Abner anymore. So right off the bat, you already have something. It's an older type name. So what? Maybe his parents were older and they had him when they were older. Maybe his parents are or in their 40s or when they're later in their life when they had Abner, and that's why he has the name. There you go. Maybe his parents had a grandparent named Abner, and that's why he has the name. Maybe they knew somebody named Abner. See, now you got it fleshing itself out. You know, you started from Abner, and all of a sudden now you got all these directions that you're going just because of the name, right? So let's take parents gave them the name for somebody they knew, a parent, somebody, anybody, right? So now the parents could have given them the name because their parent was named that. So now you got this connection there. So let's say that's not why the parent gave it to them. How about if the parent gave it to them because this was an important person in their life and they wanted to name them after that? So now why was this an important person in their life? This was an important person in life. Maybe they came in when their parents weren't there and helped them out. Maybe this was a good friend who they have lost contact with and they were just very good friends. Maybe this friend gave their life for them. Maybe you see what I'm saying? Now you got all this percolating happening, all this storytelling happening. That's why it's so important to take your characters and put them through this huge breakdown so you know who the character is. There are a lot of character creation sheets out there if you can't make your own. You can always start with the why, the who, the what. That helps out. You know, that helps you to break down your character. And you can always get more extensive from there, going, so who is the character Maximus T. Jones? Why is the character, you see what I'm saying? You can get more extensive, you can break it down. Oh, so who are they? In other words, so it's Maximus T. Jones, that's the name. Take it, break it down. He's 45, he's 22. You just add things to it. Add more and more information. The more you have, the better it is. And I cannot emphasize this enough. I have come down some paths where I have gotten completely stuck on what to write next. And then I realized, oh, the character has a memory of something that happened to him a long time ago. And then I'll take that and see if I can work that in there, or we'll see if it works with the story. But at least it gets your mind open and going to other things. Sometimes if your story is stuck, why don't you tell the story of the character? That way you can understand the character better and you can get your story flowing because you understand the character better. Because you know what the choices would be that the character will make. I find that all this is important, and I think it makes you think. And that's what the important aspect of all this is. What makes you think? What gets you creating? What makes you create a better character? And again, I'm not talking about just the main character. It could be all the characters you create. I know there's tons and tons of information about characters that have very little to do with my story, and I have all this background on them. And it's important. There's been times where a small character has become a main character because I didn't think about certain things, or the things that he has attached to him make the story better. I think that is it for today. I do think that you should go out there and check out these character creation sheets that are out there, see what works for you. If you want, check out what D&D has. Vampire the Masquerade had a very nice character sheet that broke everything down. Check out the role-playing games because it's very in-depth in how they create the characters. You know, I don't know if you've played a role-playing game or not, but when you do create your character, even in simple MMORPG, there are so many aspects of the character that you need to figure out. So, I hope this helps you out, this answers your question, and if you have any more questions, just let me know, and I'll be free to answer. There is a lot to cover on character creation, and I don't think I've done it justice even now. But I will tell you this again, and repeat it one more time. Break down your character as much as possible. Ask as many questions about this character that you have that can be asked. There's always something to learn. Just like when you meet people, you don't always know them completely. There's always something that you learn. With that, my friends, I shall sign off. WRIT Ralph. And until next time, keep creating your characters and make them good. Well, alright, AppleBites, that's my episode for today. And there you have it down there, the comment section. It is down there. You want to talk about this character creation process, you have questions like our friend did had over here. I hope this helped you out. There it goes. It's right there. Give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Let us know if you liked this episode, if you didn't like it, what you want to see. You want to challenge me on a story aspect or whatever it is you want to do with the challenge, as we usually do, then go right ahead. And right down there is the subscribe button. Press it and become a member of Bitten Apple, or become an AppleBite, as we call it. And you will know when our episodes come out, which is a good thing. That way, if my episode just came out, you would know, because there's a notification sent to you. Till then, my friends, this is Rafael Tavares, or as you like to call me, WRIT Ralph, signing off. Yes.